the other day, P, we want to pull some quotes from you, and your quote was that you thought Michael Jordan had a very limited bag. I would like you to expand on that.
Well, in today's...
You talking about today's game?
In today's game.
Okay, so you analyze... Hold on, let me set it up. So you analyzing Michael Jordan's game in today's game.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Like, what's considered a bag is like, and it's like no real set definition of it because you just look like, you look at guys, when you say, all right, who got a bag in the league, you instantly go to like Kyrie, James Harden, but these is guys who need multiple moves to get cracking. Like Jordan didn't need multiple moves. He just right by you. One dribble pull up, fade away. You know, for that era, that was great. Like now it's a one-on-one league to where it's like you really gotta like to get by your man on the switches and everything.
Many unbearable hours later.
Now you playing, that is a whole nother thing.
It's like based around how
people
you
who
get
know how to
yours
score
off
the
with your
ball,
handles.
score the ball. They don't play with food. Like if you can get to the cup and dunk the ball, you dunk it every time, right? So if you can, you do that. All right, cool. If he cuts you off, you can cross him over, boom, right? A bag is being able to be in traffic and make a traffic decision, and boom, you make it right there. You know, I faced up, boom, he went middle, I saw him middle, I gave it. So, and then on top of it, Michael Jordan was one of the more aggressor offensive players. Oh man, can't nobody guard that motherfucker today. Mike would grab your face if you tried to jump before him, bro. This nigga would grab your arm. Like, man, listen, man, I'm sorry. I respect every era, and I'm gonna keep respecting every era. Y'all need to go back and watch some of that young Mike Jordan. Y'all need to go watch that Mike Jordan who went up against Larry Bird. You know what I'm talking about? That went up against the Pistons. And with physical play, by the way. And was downhill. And when he needed a three, he could hit a three. And he hit game winners. And he came back from 15 down in the fourth. And yeah, man, what? And then he was a goon. He was a real nigga. Y'all got me fucked up in here, boy. Y'all better put some respect on Mike's name. Boy, stop saying goofy shit, man. That's goofy as hell. Mike Jordan ain't got a bag, P? Man, stop, man.
No, nobody said he ain't had no bag.
Y'all said he had a limited bag.
I can care less about a bag. I ain't saying not having a bag ain't good.
Man, you got to have a bag. If you scoring anything over 20,000, 30,000, bro, you got to have a bag. You understand? Because they going to put the best stopper on you.
Did Shaq have a bag?
Shaq had a bag? Shaq was one all dunks. Shaq had a jump hook, a left.
Dream had a bag.
Out of here. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Shaq dunked the ball majority of the time, but he had a jump hook, he had a left hand, he had a motherfucker, a fadeaway. What you talking about? Dream had move.
So what you just saw was a clip that's been going viral between Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, where KG is basically roasting Pierce for 3 minutes straight, while Pierce is desperately backpedaling as he tries to reframe his original point. This all started when Danny Green and Paul Pierce were talking on a podcast about Michael Jordan having a quote limited bag. And for a moment, I thought about making a video on this MJ topic, but I ultimately decided against it. Because, to be frank, the subject matter is so painfully stupid that it wasn't really worth my time and effort. Michael Jordan is arguably the most skilled player in the history of the game, and if you look at his game and then claim that his array of moves was limited by the standards of any era, then you either have an incredibly low basketball IQ, or you're just being disingenuous because of a hidden agenda. Those are literally the only two possibilities.
This is why saying Jordan doesn't have a bag is a silly statement to me. Here's what a bag is, according to what I think and what a lot of you guys think too. I've literally had these discussions with you in the comment section. A bag is basically a tool set. It represents, I have all of these moves, all of these different ways that I can score on you. I'm going to pick one. And after I pick one, if you counter that move, I can reach into my bag and counter your counter over and over and over again until I eventually do score on you. In other words, you can't stop me because my bag is so deep. That's what a bag is. And if that doesn't describe Michael Jordan, who the hell does it describe? Literally, like I feel like that term was invented for a guy like Michael Jordan.
So yeah, I basically just disregarded that one because I'm tired of acknowledging these forced talking points. But what Paul Pierce said about Shaq was way more intriguing, and is a common narrative that I don't fault anyone for thinking. He claimed that Shaquille O'Neal didn't have a quote bag, implying that Shaq's moves were very limited. A lot of people think this, and think that Shaq was just out there overpowering players and dunking 99% of the time. Now, did Shaq do a lot of that? Absolutely. That's part of what made him so special. But to act like that's all he had to his game is just very inaccurate. In the very prime of his career, there was a couple of the most dominant performances I have ever seen from the Diesel, and it was during the first 2 games of the 2000 NBA Finals, where he had 43 points and 19 rebounds and 40 points and 24 rebounds. I could just tell you about how he did his scoring in these finals, but if you haven't seen it for yourself, then it'll make a greater impression for you to just be able to visualize it. This is what his scoring and his bag looked like in these performances.
Looking for Shaq, who takes it in deep.
You can't leak out looking for the fast break.
Shaquille O'Neal, his field goal attempts. O'Neal juggles it, recovers. O'Neal, little fadeaway. Bryant, Smith's out on him on a switch. Here's Shaq for the jumper from Ron Harper. In deep to O'Neal. O'Neal's turnaround. Bryant with the miss. O'Neal with the recovery against the smaller Perkins. Now they surround him. He gets and they go to O'Neal. His hook is no good, but there's Rice with the follow, and now it's all. Shaq's got the rebound and the follow. Shaw just in, gives it to Shaq, and Shaq's shot was partially blocked. Shaw from Rick Fox in the front court. O'Neal finds Ori with a nice passer. O'Neal over Crozier for the rebound. He powers. Wearing number 17 for the Pacers. Deep to O'Neal. O'Neal again. O'Neal.
Where they want to use clock and stay organized and look at that line.
Shaquille O'Neal finds AC Green with a nice shot clock. Reggie defending. Kobe finds Shaq. O'Neal, turnaround from near the foul. O'Neal over Perkins. Gonna follow his own here. Shaw lobs it for Shaq. O'Neal.
Now Smith has 3 fouls. He's got to stay away from his 4th.
O'Neal, turnaround.
Tonight, and probably wouldn't play game 3.
Harper looking for Shaq. They get it deep to him.
A defensive player, and that's where he's going to really have to step it up.
Rice into the lane. Shaq to finish it
No
up.
layups, no dunks.
He looks for Ori. Away.
Notice the footwork, the post moves, the tactics about getting into favorable positions to score. Not sure if you were counting, but Shaq had more jump shots in these games than dunks. He also had more jump hooks than dunks. Simply put, Shaq's game was a lot more complex than he usually gets credit for. Sure, his skills and moves were not nearly as polished as Akeem Olajuwon, but he had a bag of moves, that's for sure. He had a solid drop-step move, stellar footwork, a solid fade, a reliable one-handed jumper, and a remarkably quick first step. Now don't get me wrong, there were games where he primarily dunked the basketball, like in his 44-point performance in Game 1 of the 2001 NBA Finals, where he was going at Dikembe Mutombo's throat. In that contest, half of his baskets were dunks, and he took full advantage of Mutombo's skinny frame. But that's part of the beauty of it. Shaq had the skills and abilities to adjust his game based on whoever was defending him at the time. If it was a big-bodied 7'4" Rick Smits, then he could rely on his mid-range game. But if it was against a skinnier player like Mutombo, then he could have a more bullying approach. Ultimately, everything I'm saying isn't the most groundbreaking stuff to many of us who actually watched Shaq play in his prime. But as time goes on, and as more people start to enter basketball discussions who didn't actually see him at his peak, Shaq starts to become more like a Wilt Chamberlain type mythological figure. So it's easy for them to have misconceptions about what his game was like. Yes, Shaq was an absolute monster, but there's no question in my mind that he was a skilled monster as well. So what do you guys think? Did Shaquille O'Neal have a bag? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks to the members for supporting the channel, And thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.